All right. This is it. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour with your host, me, Rob Cantrell, coming to you live from Syracuse, New York, a special Roadside edition. We are out there spreading comedy around the land, and I'm here with my good friend, my man, doing gigs once again, Mr. Joe Pera.
Hey Rob, happy to be here at this, I don't know, should I give the setting a little bit?
Please do.
We're outside this hotel that we're staying at, fairly new hotel, not super fancy, but kind of nice. And there's a kind of canal a little bit outside the property. We walked down to the canal, through a hedge, and now we're sitting, and the lights from the Syracuse Mall are glimmering off this canal, as are the hotel lights and the lights from what seems like another hotel down the way. It's a cloudy night, so there's not too many stars, but it's very nice, and the sound of traffic isn't overwhelming, just a little gentle hum if you can hear it.
Yeah, definitely just some white noise out there, and I love the mall lighting. You're right. The stars aren't out, but we do have the Syracuse Mall. And we got an American flag in this weird canal, and we're in Syracuse, New York, doing shows. I got lucky. I got a call from my friend and was like, hey, Rob, I got a couple shows. Can you please come and open up? And I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. We're doing Syracuse and Buffalo. Tomorrow we're going to be at the Buffalo Town Ballroom. 2 shows on a Friday night, a cool venue. I think there's a few tickets for the second show, so grab that if you can.
Yeah, it'll be fun. The hometown show for me. And yeah, this was a fun one. We did the Funny Bone inside the mall, the Syracuse Mall. And it was a big mall, maybe the biggest mall I've ever been in. They also had a go-kart track.
Oh man, the go-kart was right next to the Dave and Buster's. I mean, that's 5 hours right there if you want to spend it, you know. Yeah, and the go-kart track was a trip because it was on the 3rd floor. It wasn't even on if you're going to have a go-kart track, that's how aggressive they are with it. They put it on the 3rd floor.
It's a real quality structure.
Yeah. If it's going to hold a go-kart, and what was the other thing? What was that room? What was that?
Escape room?
Yeah, there was a whole escape room. Malls are wild now.
There's a mirror maze.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then there's a place called World of Beer.
Oh yeah, I did check that out. I think the place I checked out was like a board game. They had like this crazy board game, and I'm not dissing anybody playing D&D right now. And I'm not I do like a good board game, but you know, it's specialized in it.
Yeah. You ever, in a way, I felt smaller in that mall than I did even in New York City. You know, you're walking to a show and you walk past a bunch of stuff going on, and you go into the show, and it still feels like it's maybe the place to be in New York at that moment. But walking through that mall, I was like, we are just a tiny fraction of what's going on here tonight. I felt smaller than in New York, actually.
Oh, that was a big show.
It was a big show, but you know, like, these, you know, that people could be 20 feet away riding go-karts and have no idea that we're doing comedy. It was good. I felt smaller in the mall than I do outside with the big night sky.
Yeah, the mall was, and it was called Destiny USA, and it was tremendous, man. It's big, and they have a Funny Bone Comedy Club, which has been a chain around since the 80s, and I've played this venue before. It's a classic good, you know, in these towns like Syracuse, and I think they have them in the Midwest in Ohio, and then there's another one in upstate New York, Ithaca. I think they just had an open up a Funny Bone.
Really?
Yeah, you could play there. We could head over there. I think you went to college there.
Yeah, and I remember when the Funny Bone in Buffalo closed down. It was in the one mall in Buffalo, so that's kind of interesting that they're kind of growing again. Not only surviving, but it's expanding.
The bone is getting bigger. The Funny Bone, and Yeah, they are one of those that's just been around. There's like the Improv, the Funny Bone, and then this other one that's like down in the South. And they kind of, sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. They're like franchise. The Comedy Zone, and it's like the Twilight Zone. They do the Twilight Zone font, but they do the Comedy Zone. But they have, yeah, and there's a funny, but they used to be a chain of them called Rascals. And Rascals bounced a check on me in 2005. Yeah. I was headlining, and they bounced the check for the weekend. And they had one in Louisville. It was in a mall, and then they brought me in, and I just got on, like, it was like one of the first times, not one of the first times, but it was a major headlining gig. But it was a bummer that they bounced the check. But they eventually came around. They were just down on, it didn't last longer much after that. No,
but they just didn't check the bank account, the checking account before they wrote the check.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to screw you.
Yeah.
I mean,
if I didn't bring it up, they would have kept it rolling.
The name of the club was Rascals.
I know. And it was like a rat, and they were based in New Jersey. Rascals was like a big deal in the 80s. I think they even did like some comedy specials, but it was like one of those just like classic road places. Neat. Tons of cocaine and venereal diseases ran through those places. So yeah, sometimes they'll bounce the check, but some of them, comedy's on such a good upswing now, and Funny Bones, this is actually a good room to get into, and the improvs are always good. It's good to mix it up, and it's good but I'm also psyched that we're doing a rock venue. Or do they have rock? What do they have at the ballroom?
Mostly music concerts. I did see you were talking about TV on the radio today. I saw TV on the radio at the town ballroom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are sick. I got a great, but it's a remix of a song, I Will, and it's like this weird, it's just a really funky beat. People go check it out. It has a red cover. But some of their other songs, they have some great songs. They were a very arty, cool band of the early 2000s, but they never like got super big to the point of nauseum. Like, I don't,
No. There was, I bombed in front of one of the members of TV on the radio once.
Yeah.
This guy, a friend, Greg Gerston, did a all-night show at this loft in downtown New York, and it was a very hip thing, and the guy, I forget the band member's name, but he came out, and I saw him in the audience, and I was thinking, like, I hope this goes well. But the problem with like his all-night show was that he put me on to do an hour of comedy at, I think, 2 a.m. and I was so tired, and it was just like it wasn't the audience the audience was tired, I was tired, and it just did not go well. And so I brought up my friend Tomas, who's a New York City tour guide, and I was like, I need help, and Tomas was sitting there, and also he brought a nice a date that he was on to kind of come, so I thought he could impress her as well by doing just New York City facts. It was like, how does this not end in complete failure? And I brought up Tomas to do some New York City facts, and it was
that was great thinking on your feet, Joe. No, you're talking to a guy who has been there. I have bombed in front of cool bands and cool people at weird gigs many a time. But that's a good move. Once you get them into trivia, in New York trivia, New Yorkers love talking about New York. So you just get them going. And Tomas, shout out to Tomas. He has a great YouTube channel that goes through all the history of neighborhoods. If you want to check out like all the different murders that happened in Red Hook, you go check out his thing. And he'll show you a cool bench and a great place to get coffee.
A little bit of everything. Tom D NYC, I think.
Yeah, Tom D NYC. Check out his vids. No, I love those YouTube videos where they're like, yo, we're just driving around Buffalo at 2 a.m. and it's just like a POV shot of somebody just driving around town. Like, I'll even get that. Tom goes into history and everybody loves a little history. Tom goes, and he's really good on camera. He's just, he tells jokes. He's a great comic, but he also has this hidden talent of kind of being a historian talk show guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We lived together, and when he left his job in law, he needed to, make money and have some flexible hours, so he studied for the tour guide exam, and that was 5 or 6 years ago, and he still reads like a New York City history book every single month, like thick ones too, serious history books.
Yeah, New York's got serious thick history that goes back to like 1600s, 1500s. Dudes on horses and outhouses and tenement houses and immigrants from every walk of life, and just murder and debauchery and great food and just lots of art and wildness, man. That's a great gig. And yeah, I remember that. And he has built up a healthy YouTube, and he supplements his income. Like, I think he gets good money from his YouTube. Like, he's gotten to that point.
Yeah, it's good. It was when, in the middle of the pandemic, people couldn't travel, and they wanted to feel like they were traveling. So Tomas was giving virtual tours.
Yeah. I took those virtual tours. I love it, man. I go down. Are you a YouTube fan? You're having should we give the fans, you're having a great apple cinnamon donut. Is that what that is?
Somebody brought apple cider donuts, as well as regular cider, as well as bourbon, all in kind of like a farm basket to the show.
Yeah, Joe has the best fans. We just did a packed out show tonight, and it was just me and Joe. I got to go up and do 20 minutes and goof around, and then Joe did an hour. And yeah, your fans came in, and they were just the sweetest, nicest people, just like you. And they had, this one dude had he had a wooden basket, and he had 2 bottles of scotch. I have like a high-end CBD made out of apple oil.
1911 bourbon whiskey.
Dude.
And I'm having a drink of that.
Yeah.
After the show. I earned it.
Yeah, you did. We just drove 4 hours up here. Joe did an hour, made his fans happy, and they gave him Apple products. Whiskey and CBD and donuts. And I have this shimmering, I'm not drinking. I did have a little bit of herb before the show. I have Kush Cake Organic. Shout out to Mr. Nice Guys in Park Slope. It's a new dispensary, but I'm having this great I'm having Honeycrisp sparkling fresh cider. And it's nighttime, everybody. I know this is the Cannabis coffee hour, but I'm having a little coffee, I'm having a little cannabis, Joe's having some scotch and drinking donuts. and we're in Syracuse looking over a body of water.
I'm sorry if you can hear the wind on the microphones, but it's part of the mood. It feels really nice on our faces right now. Well, I can only speak for myself.
No, dude, you're right. This temperature is great, and it's making these flags fly. There's like all these American flags and like Syracuse state flags, and they're just really rocking. Yeah, I think that's a Syracuse state flag. And then there's a white surrender flag. I think Syracuse is surrendering.
To Albany.
To Albany, for sure. But the American flag, still kicking high. It's not, a flat flag is depressing, but when it's flying, there's something. It's dancing,
I can't think of anywhere I'd like to be than in the presence of this mall and waterway of Syracuse tonight.
I 100% agree. It's the perfect setup, people. We are at the Marriott Loft, which is like, kind of like Williamsburg meets the Marriott. And they're doing their thing. There's almond milk lattes in the morning, but you have to pay for them. But they're not bad. But I do love the rooms, hot shower. I like me some hipster shit, and I like me a good hotel. So it's perfect. But it's not packed. Like there's not much out here. So we have like this. It's next to this water reservoir. I don't know if this is going into the ocean or going in.
Definitely headed towards the ocean.
I think so. Or is this a septic tank? I don't know. But it smells, it's not septic. It smells good out here. Like, it's nautical.
Yeah, I did forget which. Shoot, I think Syracuse is off of Finger Lake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of Great Lakes. It's not Michigan, but there are a lot of Great Lakes up here, right?
Erie, we're headed towards Erie, where Buffalo is located, and then Ontario is past that. But I don't know. We're in Finger Lakes region in the central New York, or kind of central New York now.
But
There's
wouldn't that where buffalo cats go for the summer? They would go to Finger Lake and go sailing?
Sometimes. Lake Erie is good sailing. I wouldn't know for sure, but we're on Onondaga Lake.
Oh, wow. We're on a real lake.
Yeah. And then, I guess we're above the Finger Lakes. Can you see that? I just pulled up the map.
Oh, yeah, with the topography.
Yeah, there's five of them.
And there's coast. Is there a coastline? I don't know much about it, and I love lakes. And you do know your lakes. Is there like beach? Some big lakes you have, like in Michigan, there's like beaches and shit, and some are just like rivery, mossy type situations.
They mostly have like docks into them, I think. Not there's some beaches, but they're not known for their beaches. They make, I think, white wine and cider along them.
Nice.
That the region is known for. And yeah, I don't know that much about them, to be honest.
But a good lake is, this is just such a lucky, like, find that we found this hotel. And then after the show, sometimes you're at these hotels and you're kind of like stuck in your room or you're stuck in the hallway. Not in the hallway, but like the lobby, you know, because the town isn't safe. And this is just like, yeah, quiet USA right here, you know, there's nothing around.
Yeah, it feels like this area is in the process of development, but this loft hotel might be early on. I don't know. Also feels like we could be anywhere right now.
Yeah, it does. This could be Florida right now. This could be Ohio. And this definitely could be Indiana. But driving up here, we went into a little mountain region. On the ride up here, we went to this like funky, cool diner in this town. Do you remember the name of that town?
New
Middleton.
New Middleton.
Yeah, New Middleton. Shout out to New Middleton.
That was an Italian-American restaurant.
Yep.
Called, let me look it up.
Yeah, they were nice to us. I felt weird for asking to eat outside. I've been masking it up. I haven't caught COVID yet. We did these shows, but we've been safe, and nobody's given us any weird looks. And yeah.
It's called Green Gables.
Yeah, the Green Gables. That place, shout out Green Gables, and they have these great picnic tables outside.
It was like a family restaurant with volleyball tables outside and a picnic shed.
Yep. They had a picnic shed. Like, it definitely had some, if you wanted to have the Cantrell reunion or the Pera reunion, you could have there, and you could have all your aunts and uncles playing volleyball.
Everybody
and
knows
eating chicken parm.
Italian Americans love volleyball.
Yeah. Especially after a big bowl of pasta, you want to get out there and really jump around.
That'd be a good movie.
Yeah. Pasta and volleyball. Mm-hmm. I watched the first Top Gun the other night, and it holds up.
Good transition.
Yeah. Because they have that volleyball scene. You know, that epic volleyball scene.
I haven't seen it yet.
So that was the only reason I brought it up. You never saw Top Gun?
The original one, I know, I've seen clips of the volleyball scene, just not the full movie.
Yeah.
How good is this donut?
I mean, yeah, it was a good volleyball scene. Like, there is some, I think, you know, definitely some sexual tension going on amongst the actors. It's hot, shirts off, dudes rocking volleyball.
Somebody told me a story about that scene. I don't know if it's true, but is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell it. I haven't heard it.
I heard it through Carmen Christopher, so I'll blame him. But he said that Tom Cruise saw the footage of himself, and a lot of the actors are younger than him, and they just looked really good with their shirts off at the time being. They must have been working out, and he wasn't happy with the way he looked, so he insisted they do a reshoot, and they didn't tell the other actors, so they couldn't, hit the gym beforehand. But he worked out super hard and got, I don't know, whatever him and Hugh Jackman do before they do X-Men, I think they dehydrate themselves and just pump all the muscle. And then he didn't tell them that they were going to do the reshoot, but then they called it last minute, and he looked better than the younger guys because of that. That's Carmen Christopher's story. I can't vouch, but it's good.
Yeah, it is good Tom Cruise-ness. I could see him doing that. I think he might be that type of, if you're a superstar, I could see him being that into making a movie and making sure that he looks good.
I want to be more ripped than the young guys for all time.
Yeah. If this is going down on film, I can't have my cheeseburger holsters hanging out.
I'm sure his idea of what not looking good with his shirt off is probably a lot different than ours.
Yeah. No, there was but it was still 80s bodies. So it's weird how bodies contort into times. Like if you look at an old Playboy from the 80s or the 70s, people's bodies are different.
That's true. Wait, are you talking about Top Gun from the 80s or the new one?
Yeah, from the 80s. Yeah, the new one, he's like 70. But I'm sure they. But nowadays, you drink your collagen and you do your stretches. And Tom Cruise has got some really good stretches.
Bro, I'm sure.
Because he doesn't seem to age at all. He just kind of he ages a little. Everybody ages.
I did that a joke the other night. That I said, yeah, Ted looks better than I do, and he's older than me. But they said, everybody I was with said, no, look at his face. Look closely at his face. You can tell he's getting old. And I was okay. I was shut down. I guess I wasn't looking closely enough at Tom Cruise's face.
Yeah, but you're full of love. You're not as critical as some of these people out here.
I look at the hairline. If you got a full hairline, you could look like whatever a skeleton. I still think you look like a 25.
This guy's healthy. This guy is young Spire. You might be, homeless and wrestling a trash can right now. But he's got a full head of hair. Yeah, the idea of youth and trying to stay young forever is such a weird, I don't fault them, and I guess I fall into it, but just like the Botox and the plastic surgery, it's like, it never makes it look younger,
Just more full, or less wrinkled, not time reversed.
Yeah, and I think the wrinkles are good. I don't know, old people are cool. Like the older I get, like really old people don't give a fuck at all. The people that have been through it, and are just like blessed that every day is alive. I'm talking like 80s and 90s and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I think there's some beauty in, like, old people get cute. It's weird. Like babies and old people are cute.
That's true. Because they need their bodies are genetically saying, take care of me, right?
Yeah.
So
So I guess a vulnerability comes through that's like natural. So it's like, yeah, I got to rely on some of you motherfuckers. Got to change my diaper around here. Yeah, it's wild. Nature's wild. And we're out in nature. We're out in Syracuse.
smoking a little bit of Mother Nature. I'm so high that I can't find my bowl right now is my thing.
Oh.
I had my other one. We're being COVID. Yeah. I don't smoke a lot, but.
But did you have any interesting thoughts while we were driving? And I gotta admit, I was looking at my phone once in a while. Did you have any?
You weren't bad. Once in a while isn't bad, and you're working. You have a show. You're doing it, so I could understand. You had a couple issues, and you forewarned me like, "Hey, I got to do this." I thought you handled it perfectly.
Oh, thanks.
And you were great, and you even helped me with the maps. Getting out of New Jersey was getting crazy.
That's rough. But what were you thinking when I was on my phone and you had a moment to drift off? What were you thinking about?
You know, lately it's just all about how beautiful the sky is. And
really?
And the trees, and in the moment, and that I've been doing comedy this long and still doing fun, cool gigs, and they all seem to come out of the ether. So it's just like, that's what I was thinking about. And it gets weird because I get so appreciative of stuff, and I just think it's my age. Like, I don't know if it's my age or if it's me, but I'm just like, whoa, the sky is so great right now.
I think it's you. I wish all people got older and only thought about how great the sky looks. But I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think, but the other flip side, I think maybe, I don't want to talk it into manifestation, so maybe death is around the corner. It's just like, so I just know how important it is to live in the moment and be it and bring it back to appreciation. And driving, I'm not great at, but but meditation and driving, it's kind of the same thing. Like, you just with driving, you really do have to zen out, so you do have to be in the moment and oh shit, especially in New York, it's always on, so your mind doesn't get to drift that far. I guess you're always being pulled into the moment when you're driving, and in a weird, intense way.
That's good. I thought you were just gonna zen out as terms of just admiring the sky, and then I would be afraid during our drive to Buffalo.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you gotta watch the road. You gotta watch these dudes behind you. We had a couple Smokies on our trail. We had a couple cops, but I stayed the speed limit the whole time. I was good, but sometimes I get a lead foot. And I push it. When I had to pee, I pushed it up a little bit. I got up to 80 a little bit. I got aggressive on the pedal. What about you? Are you a lead foot when you drive? Do you drive fast? Some people drive fast.
I feel the urge. I can't put it into cruise control and just go 70 on the throughway. I feel like I have a hard time not making a game out of changing lanes and trying to pass cars one at a time, and moving from one group of cars to another. Not going that fast, but maybe 5 to 10 over, and just I can't stop. It's
No, it's a good way to drive. I think with driving is I do get aggressive to get around trucks, and you got to make moves and pull ahead, and so you got to motivate yourself. You're like, okay, I don't trust this, or this could slow everything down if I hang out this long. So I think sometimes it's a need for speed is good. Sometimes, to quote the Tom Cruise movie, sometimes you got to accelerate and move ahead and push beyond, Instead of just cruising, sitting back at 55, sometimes you got to, can't drive 65, as Hagar used to say.
Tom Cruise said that quote in Top Gun?
Yeah, I got the need for speed.
Oh.
I got the need for speed.
I thought he was driving the jet and said, you gotta go fast, move beyond. Push ahead, move beyond.
You gotta push ahead, you gotta move beyond. That's definitely my self-motivation tape that I listen to every day.
My name is Tom Cruise and I like to go fast.
Yeah, I like to go
fast. In a jet plane.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, and his first mainstream movie was Risky Business, which you look back on is the weirdest thing. It's the suburban kid that gets prostitutes and runs a brothel out of his house in order to get into Harvard.
Yeah.
And that was a mainstream hit.
Yeah, they want to watch that horny teen get seduced and dance in his underwear.
Yeah. And
bunch
then
of
right
pros-
into fighter pilots, and
bunch of
then right into
perverts. Yeah.
Scientology.
Yeah. He broke the sound barrier in his jet, and that's when he turned Scientologist.
Yep. I had another thing, like anything to do with the future, Tom Cruise is good in. Like, what was that? You know, Minority Report. Wasn't that? It was when he had was like a sci-fi dude.
I think I saw that too late, and it felt a little hokey.
Yeah.
But I saw. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow?
No, is that another sci-fi thing he did?
You haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow?
No.
It's a
What's
really
it all about?
good film. It's not gonna sound good, but he's a guy who keeps basically humans are at war with these robot aliens, which sounds hokey, but he dies and then comes back to life every day. So this is Groundhog Day meets alien invasion, but it's really good film, and the way that it never feels like tiresome in the way that the days repeat. It keeps jumping ahead into the perfect moment. It's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
I can't say. Somewhere between 2010 and 2015.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I'm excited. I tried to do it, but I worked hard yesterday, just like dealing with a bunch of stuff before the trip.
Yeah.
And then I fell asleep, but I wanted to see the new Obi-Wan Kenobi series that is coming out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Did you follow The Matrix at all? I mean, not The Matrix, The Mandalorian.
No.
No. Are you
No.
not into Star Wars?
Something about how hard Disney Plus is pushing stuff on us makes me not want to subscribe.
Yeah.
I would do it for, my sister's got it from my niece and nephew to watch Moana,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know. I've heard Mandalorian was very good though and entertaining, and so I would, and I saw that video on Twitter of Ewan McGregor in his car thanking people for making Obi-Wan the #1 Disney Plus premiere.
Oh, he did? He was doing a shout out on an Instagram Live?
Yes, definitely some PR person was like, shoot a video from while you're driving in your car like everybody does nowadays and make it seem like a spontaneous thank you promotion.
Just want to say, yeah, I'm not into video driving, no.
No, but it's the thing. They even do it in political ads now. It just is like makes people seem down to earth but very dangerous.
Yeah. Driving is very dangerous. I don't recommend getting high and driving. I don't recommend the phones wigs me out, And even how careful I am, I've caught myself like getting on my phone while I'm driving, and it's just such a day. And then you see dudes just working the phone while they're driving and doing everything else. It's like, too many distractions. You got to zen it out when you're driving, man.
Yeah. This is one of the great pleasures in life is turning on a good album and driving around just listening to music.
Oh, yeah, it's the best, man. Did you enjoy? I did repurchase Spotify just for this trip. I ex-nayed them because they
Really?
Yeah, because they took my comedy album down, and that bummed me out. And but they're putting, I don't know. I'm talking to the label. We're trying to work it out. But and I was like, and I know a lot of musician friends don't like them because they're not paying, and that was not paying enough. And they're making gazillions of dollars and paying all these podcasters. It's just a weird setup. But the only problem is, Joe,
What's that?
it's great technology, man. I missed it. I loved it, man. I gave you the junior playlist, dude. My other playlist goes way deep. I'm talking like obscure 80s hip hop, 70s hip hop, all this dub from Jamaica that I'm into, and then I'm going deep on my classic rock, my Humble Pie, my Grateful Dead, my jam band, and then I like my hard. I got Bad Brains, I got Fugazi, and we listened to a little Kenny Rogers today.
It was all over the place, but in a great way.
Yeah, you gave it a shout out from the stage. I loved. I thought that was so funny. So let's first. I made a mix for the drive. What did you think of the mix, Joe? Because we went right into the mix, and I just was plowing through tunes a little bit.
Oh, it was so good. A lot of stuff I never heard before, but it was great. It felt. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It was so varied in its musical genre, but it felt like I have a better understanding of you from it. But like all those genres you just named are in it, and it felt, a lot of stuff I never heard before. But there was one song by Donovan, and I never heard that song by Donovan, and I said on stage that we were listening to Donovan, and I asked if there were any other Donovan fans.
Now, Donovan was not obscure, but he was big in the 70s, and he was a solo cat that would play the acoustic guitar, but also did psychedelic arrangements. So he has, there's a couple, I think... Did you know, what was the classic Donovan tune that you know? I know there's some, I didn't know, but Spotify introduced it to me. I just found it through algorithm, and I was like, yo, I'm fucking with this cat. And then I did some research, and I was like, yeah, I like the beatniks.
The one they would play sometimes they would abbreviate it for radio, but they play it on the classic rock station in Buffalo a lot, that one about Atlantis that he did, and it's got the 2-minute long preamble about Atlantis before going into just the melody.
Yeah. He's serious with his mysticism. He's like, the one we were listening to was like Ricky Ticky Ticky Tong. And it was all about, it's all about conformity. It was like early anti-conformity, and he was a little bit trippy. And I think he might have done Puff the Magic Dragon. I think.
That was Peter, Paul, and Mary, I think.
Oh, really? Or there's some kind of classy, psychedelic, corny tune that he did that's a super mainstream. I haven't heard the Atlantis one. But what is the thing of Atlantis? It's a hidden city, right?
Yeah.
In the ocean.
You were way down beneath the ocean, down beneath the sea. You can.
I know it.
Way down, way down.
Oh, yeah.
The ocean. There, I forget the words, but it says ocean and sea in it, and a long preamble about how advanced Atlantis was before.
But what is the deal with Atlantis, right? It was a city underwater.
It's there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it. You go.
Oh, really?
It gets weird sometimes. I think that they were the most advanced civilization of all time, and then they got flooded, so we lost their knowledge forever. But I think, they were saying, the people think they have alien technology, and they knew the meaning of life, but they knew too much, and that's why something happened to them. I think it gets pretty weird if you want it, but I think it's based on just a city that went underwater.
And it's based on the fact that the Earth is 8 million years. That's what I trip out on. If the Earth is 8 million years old. The George Carlin special went into it. It's there has been other species before us, living on this planet and evolving. Or maybe we did, I don't know all of it, but maybe there was other things and the rock hit it and destroyed it and start all over, because we've only been around, we know it's 2014, so we've been around 2014 years, throw some Jesus BC years on there, I'm talking 3,000 years documented, but I think scientists have proven that it's been around longer than that.
Yeah. The Earth is older than 2014.
Yeah.
But man, it feels good. Obama's still president.
Yeah, I forget that it's 2022. Oh my God. It's still 2014 to me. It's 2005 to me. Ever since 2000 hit, man, I'm telling you, it just went gray.
Really?
Time did. I don't know. Yeah, I graduated in 95. So everything was 19 this and the eight. You can always say the 80s. You can always say the 90s. You can always say the 70s. But now it's the aughts? Is that what it is?
And we're way beyond the aughts.
Yeah. What are we now?
10 year.
Yeah.
2020s. I don't know if they've got
Yeah.
a cool name for it.
The Corona 20s. I was thinking of the Roaring 20s, but no. A little bit. We're getting out of it, and I just think I'm excited for doing these shows. I'm excited to do comedy. I'm excited for the world opening up. I just think, as bad as COVID and all the quarantining and everything that's going on, we're rapidly learning and rapidly I don't know. I feel like I'm just learning how to live almost already. I'm just learning how to not be in my head and be in the moment. I know that the moment is having a moment, but
Yeah.
Did you get that? Did you pull anything from all these crazy times we've been through the last 2 years?
I think so. It's very hard after, the shootings of the past few weeks to be fully optimistic
Yeah.
that we're learning. I don't want to be negative guy, but I just...
No, you're 100% aware. No, you're very aware of the moment. And I drift off into la la land. And but being a part of the moment is being part of these mass shootings that are happening every other day. And the last two have been beyond brutal that you can't even get your head around it.
But I guess being in the moment in Syracuse right now hopefully does not, I don't need to bring the podcast here.
No, yeah, it's all good. No, I think but I think all these things make you appreciate the moment. And I have been through rough stuff in my life. And the thing is like, as bad as it gets, I hate to say there's a good side to everything, but maybe we might turn a corner on, this, not to go political, but maybe we'll get some awareness on, gun control and not just letting every ham bone go out and buy guns, buy weed, and weed hasn't even gotten legal. You got to have a license at least. You got to go in there. Nowadays, people can go to gun shows and get guns easy. So, yeah, I'm not into guns.
You should try and introduce the ham bone bill, where you have to prove you're not a ham bone.
Isn't ham bone a good word?
Yes.
It's
Southern though. Is it Southern?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah.
Ham on the way here.
Oh yeah, I ate a lot of ham, a lot of grits, a lot of ham, a lot of grits, a lot of fried bologna. Had a lot of fried bologna growing up, but it was good. All of it's good. I do like good ham. I've moved out of it, but when it's when you get the full cracked pepper. Have you ever had that? Like when you lace the ham and it's like the cracked. That's how my mom would make it. Would put the cracked pepper and then glaze the ham and then before you grind the pepper.
Peppercorn.
Yeah, peppercorn. You put peppercorn all the way down the ham, and that
like Christmas every day.
Yeah, like Christmas because ham is so damn good. You're like, how can this get any better?
Yeah.
Fresh pepper. I talk about this. If you want to cook, it's all about 2 ingredients: good salt, good pepper. If you have fresh cracked pepper, I mean, you can make eggs pop.
I had the joke in my book, like my favorite flavors are salt and pepper. It's true. It's really good pepper, yeah.
Really, and there's a weird smell. It's the same kind of feeling I get from a fireplace, a real wooden fireplace. Like, I don't know, there's just something smoky about it. I feel like I'm gonna make something with a skillet, you know. I got some raw honey, all of it.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to. My girlfriend is vegetarian, but I've ordered these packages of 15 bean soup,
Oh yeah.
and you make it, but they suggest you cook like a ham bone with it,
Yep.
and I can't.
Really?
Well, otherwise I have to eat a whole pot of bean soup by myself. Not the worst thing, but I try to make it so that she can have some too.
Yeah, because you're making it for you can't do it because you can't put the ham bone in because she's vegetarian. Yeah. And I've done those things in those 15 bean soup, but the thing is you got to soak it, right? You got to soak the beans.
Yes.
For like a day, right?
Just overnight. And
Yeah.
I've learned it's worth it when you get the beans and like nice beans and you soak them yourself. You can taste the flavor of the beans that are much better than getting them from the can.
Oh yeah, for sure. But especially a petrified bean is the worst. You gotta get, but yeah, good. You know, I'm a big fan of beans in general. I like rice and beans. I like hummus. I like most bean soups are pretty good. Vegetarian chili is the bomb. I'm not full vegan. I don't believe in labels or any of that, but I'm trying to eat more healthy, so I try to break out a vegetarian meal a lot, like during the week, like once or twice. And
Yeah.
vegetarian chili is slamming if anybody wants to check it out.
Yeah. You know what I started doing?
What's that?
Recent vegetarian option, but just because it's kind of, it's healthy and stuff. You just take, do you have Instapot?
Instapot.
It's like a pressure cooker.
Yes.
You do that or do it on the stove. It's just a couple of green lentils, a cup of rice, and you just simmer it or put it in an Instapot for a bit of time. You put a little salt at the beginning and then season it however you want at the end. It's so good. It's like it's surprising how much flavor it is, especially if you put in like curry powder, salt, fresh ground pepper.
Oh wow.
It's really tasty snack, or a quick lunch or dinner.
Oh,
It's really good. And then if you want to go nuts, you could roast vegetables, put them on top. But
Oh.
it's really fine on its own. It's good. It makes me feel like I'm running on good, clean fuel.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like like my move, because my mom would always do brown bread, and I hated it, and she just ate healthy, but she's living a long life. But her move, and I've just become her. We just become our parents, and her move was just sautéing squash. So I love doing that. You get the green and the yellow, then you go chop, 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 chop. Make them about like potato chip size.
Circular, or do you
Circular.
do it lengthwise? Okay.
Circular.
Yeah.
Circular, 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 circular. Chomp, 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 chomp. Throw them in the frying pan with olive oil. Salt and pepper that. Saute that. If you want to take it up a notch, you go onion. You go red onion, but don't cook it. You don't cook red onion. Keep it raw. And you put that on there. And I got my spices. I hadn't had chili garlic powder in a while.
Ooh.
And you got to have garlic powder.
It's good for you too, right?
I think so. Do you have curry spices laying around because your girlfriend's vegetarian?
You just, you go to you get in the spice aisle, they got curry powder, it's pre-made for you, but turmeric, cumin, some kind of pepper. It's just blended for you already. It's not, it's pretty, it really is. I put it on eggs now, and that's really nice.
Oh, wow.
They add a little,
Makes it, and I love a good curry powder, and I've been doing turmeric in my banana shakes in the morning, and I've been getting it, and this will be the last thing. We'll sign off on this. I'll ask you one quick question, because we could go on and on. I think we're up to, and I see people walk, 49 minutes. Look at that. Oh, wow.
Every minute of spice content is extraordinary.
I know. People are learning. But where are you at with truffle stuff? Because somebody gifted me some truffle salt, some truffle honey, and then some truffle olive oil, but all little, because the shit is expensive, but it was all like little bite-sized ones.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's like mushroom flavor. Do you know what's going on? Have you heard about this?
I don't know. For me, when there's truffle fries I've seen them a lot, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like, you know how you like French fries? Well, don't you want them to taste a little bit more pungent? I say, I don't know. It's not
French fries. You don't really need to be more pungent.
I haven't gone into truffle real hard, but I watched that movie, the Truffle Hunters.
Oh, I think I've heard about this film.
It's just about a bunch of old men in Piedmont, Italy, who hunt for the truffles with their dogs, and it's guys who've their fashion is fantastic, but it's just guys who are devoted to their dogs and hunting for them, and it made me want to give it a shot, but also, yeah.
That's fascinating. I want to check that out. Because truffles there's a weird thing like in Amsterdam, there are psychedelic truffles. Like they are a mushroom.
Yeah, it's very neat to hear them talk about it. I don't know that much about them, but it was just from the doctor talking about how wet or dry the ground is. It gives them an opportunity to grow and how they smell. It's just totally based on the natural conditions. It's very neat.
Yeah.
I want to give them a chance, but also it's like certain wine, it's like good wine is wasted on me. I just need a nice medium wine, and I'm happy. Same as like I would love to just live on salt, pepper, brown rice, lentil. Like if I could get it down to that would feel great. I don't need fancy stuff.
I know it's with food and all the crazy spices, but I don't know. I do like my music taste. Like I listen to everything.
Yeah.
And my wife is like, boom, I just eat this, and I'm all over the map. I like to change it up and mix it up and try different shit. But I also like it simple as well. And this has been simple. This has been the Cannabis Coffee Hour. Joe Pera, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Do you mind if I share one joke that feels relevant by my friend Yazan?
Yeah, please.
He asked me, you know what the spice of life is?
What's the spice of life?
Spice. That's a credit to Yazan. But yeah, it's true.
It is true. Got to make it spicy. Got to make it kick. It is. Yeah, we could keep talking about the spice trade forever because I think that's where capitalism came in. We got to get Tomas on that as well. But shout out everybody. I love you. Peace and love. Check out Joe's awesome television, Joe Pera Talks to You television show. It's on Adult Swim, and it's also on HBO Cinemax. He's on tour, running around. Go check him out. He's one of my favorites. Joe, thank you so much.
Thanks, Rob.
Peace.
Discovering truth is not a question of intelligence. It's intelligence, not intellectual ability, intellectual intelligence at all. Because if it were, then there's so many people with really sharp intellects. They have such skill at comprehending and going to the point. So if that was all that it took, there'd be many Buddhas who came through the intellectual artery or vein.